So when you talk, here's how I'm perceiving things once again. Your journal, record button, Heavenly Father, and to everybody who's part of it and every ear that's listening. For whatever reason, you push the play button on my video when you get a notification. If you've been paying attention, at least in the past 2 months, you'll see that I show a lot of YouTube videos, art museum footage, XApp recordings when I'm down near the art museum or near the Israel flag or a sinkhole. Or Steve Noon will see me in 5 hours, knowing that because I'm going to go down there. The XApp started out with the day before I went to the art museum. Jacob Israel showed something that was similar to an arc, the A-frame of the building where the art museum is. When you look from a distance, it looks like an arc, like a, Noah's Ark. And he showed a building that was very similar right before that, and he was live as I was just pushing record on the XApp. I was live too, but I wasn't live on air. So Jacob was live on air, the YouTube air, and he was referring some things that I was right there with, even as I'm at the stop sign, or was it the do not enter? Yeah. And he said, you're going to go to jail if you talk about Christ. And he said, not funny, dude. So it was a thing that was communicated. Okay. Then I went to the art museum. 17 minutes on one video, 5 minutes on another. The videos that I did play in the art museum, that was YouTube's videos, were random shuffle, and for 17 minutes straight, I paused the button a couple times, but I let the soundtrack go all the way through. I didn't stop the soundtrack. And a commercial would pop on, and then the next song would hop on, and then that song starts lining up. The music video of YouTube starts lining up with my art museum footage, frame by frame, step by step, shadow, shape, all very, very identically similar. So I keep showing stuff like that. There's no real way of explaining it besides I met time, where the past, the future, the present, it all met, and I discovered time is different than what we think it is. We could simply just be literally in the Matrix in our third dream state, or our second dream state. Our third dream state would be when we fall asleep from here, and then we dream off and then the time goes by so fast, and then all of a sudden we wake up and it's like you go to work and time drags so slow. You just wonder, why couldn't we reprogram the exact opposite? When you're at work, you just kind of fall asleep, co-pilot, next thing you know, you're finished. It feels like 10 minutes. You go home, or when you go to work, it feels like you're going to sleep. You still get work done, you kind of just drift off, and time flies. And then when you're going to sleep, actual sleep, then that's when time drags on, and you get so many hours of sleep it feels like a day's worth. The movie, I didn't watch all, but Arrival, the woman that can interpret what the rock is cooking, the rocks that turn into clouds, that come from the heavens. I was wondering, who's this child? And so her the book report on her is she kept drifting in and out of some kind of reality land as if she's awake right now, but then like as when I'm driving home or wherever I am, really, if I'm not in front of the computer or listen to a video, I'm in a world that is communicating with others that I know I'm gonna say when I get in front of the camera. I tap into a world that doesn't truly exist on this plane, but it's to come. It's a future world, and I'm working on my portion of what I need to create in it before it becomes a reality. And it's all just a dreamland state, fantasy world that, how could anything ever come true that I believe in? What am I even basing my faith off of? I don't even talk to anybody. The only thing I really do is talk through comments and get back to people. That's pretty much it. Talk to my wife. That's about it. Yep. I needed to make sure it stayed that way in order to just not really have any other influence besides what I want to hear, what I want to see, hear, and not be bothered. So that's the route that I went. And at some point, the time would be up, and I don't have to be like that anymore. I want to talk to people, but I know that there's still secrets and lies, and nobody's actually gonna really come out and let you know the absolute truth of everything, because it's not time yet. So I choose to just not listen to anybody personally just yet. Thought about it, but I know how I get. So this app, this X app thing, and then talking to Jonathan Kleck the next day, and then this time it was a pre-recorded video as I turned on the X app, Planet X, and then he starts referring to things that I'm getting ready to see, and then I show you what he was just said. And with the class of 2008, and I even said, I feel like this is one of them tap-in moments. So my faith told me this was a tap-in moment. I don't know how I knew. I just tapped it in, pushed record, had faith that something was going to line up somehow, because this is what's going on. And it's insane, but hey, whatever. And I record it, and then all of a sudden, it's like, 2008, there's a boat right there. You just said that 5 seconds ago, Jonathan Kleck. How'd you know? And then I get led all the way down to the Lance Armstrong, or if you know what I mean. Oh, Stretch Armstrong. The Spirit of Freedom of Spirit Enterprise statue. And so I'm showing you the stuff that Kleck is referring to before I get there. I've already been paying attention to this channel, the name Jonathan Kleck, for like 4 years. Now it's getting weird. Now it's to the point where there's really no trying to explain it, because all I'm really doing is telling the ones that know it what I'm experiencing as I'm going through this meeting of time. Time has been changed. There's something different about how I perceive time now. And the fact remains that when you see images, and you can handle them yourself, you can match them up with me walking through the art museum side by side. I made it as easy as possible for the judge to be shown a video to say, look, here it is. And then it just keeps happening. Now it starts happening. Now I just, if I get the feeling to just push the X app and record what somebody's saying, or a new song like Who's Gonna Ride My Wild Horses. I figured that video was made back there with the blue CNET. It's little, it's minor, but you know, it's on point. Once again, YouTube just likes my footage from the past. I don't know what else to say. You travel into a dimension that's impossible. What I'm saying is not possible under normal human being conscious awareness belief system for anybody to try to figure out. It's not possible. It's more like a dreamland movie. It's really more like a movie. But then considering the fact that I'm going through it, and how is it that I can talk with this, my Lord, right? How am I able to talk to these gods that are battling each other one way or another, and they all have this interest in trying to communicate with me through this X app, showing me things that I'm gonna see, like the sinkhole, Steve Bannoun. I was led by the Spirit to go because I perceived what Steve Bannoun was saying, and I wanted to fulfill the fact of, hey, this is what you were saying, right? All right, well, how did I know? I'm a human being on Earth. I don't know any of yous. I didn't understand why I'm even talking to these channels, these high-end channels that they're not really saying that they're focusing their attention on me, but they are. And then what I do is I do the video and prove it that beyond a reasonable doubt that they are, but I don't know why, right? Yes, that's your footage, Robin. It looks identical at the art museum, but I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know how that's possible. But yeah, it is identical. I got to give you that. I can't understand how it's even possible. Well, there's some kind of time travel situation going on here. But the other thing that I can believe that because I'm experiencing it. The one thing I can't even believe that's possible, unless I am in a dreamland, mixed with a movie when I wake up, or writing a movie as I go to a dream too. How can I talk to you, Jonathan Clegg? How can I talk to you in a video doing the X app before you show me something that I'm going to see as I'm showing you for the first time on my live feed as I'm pushing the record button? I consider myself live. How is it that you're on my video as I'm recording where I'm going, what I'm doing, and you're going to tell me where I'm going to go before I go there on a pre-recorded video? How do you know I'm going to sit in between those two black rocks at that cafe, Cret, that's on the other end of the art museum, Benjamin Franklin Parkway, on the Israeli flag side where U2's sign is, but also U1? How did you know that I was going to get up as I was walking out? You're going to say walk out from the tent and show you two halves of the same rock and take a picture of it. How did you know that I was going to do that? I'm talking to you. I'm live. You're pre-recorded. I'm sitting there with the X app, just watching your video, recording it. Something gets my attention. I look in that direction. I walk out. You're talking about walking out. There's the tent. There's the two rocks. Putting them together. Putting them both together. Subplanter. Both big half rock plant. Two twins, subplanters, like sitting right there. How in the hell did you know that I was going to go there? And you're going to talk about where I'm going to go as I'm watching you from the past, as I am in the present moment and you're going to tell me where I'm heading in the future? That's what's going on here, folks. To the folks that can't see it, this, to anybody that's, that's what's going on. I go on the X app, I watch somebody's video that I pay attention to for the past 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and I may show something that they're going to talk about and pinpoint it in one of their pre-recorded videos as I'm showing you them, and then they're going to tell me where I'm going to go, and then I show you where I went, and it proves that that's what they were talking about. And then that little blue light Google Maps tracker is like, what? Is that really me and I'm the ghost? Because it's my phone. It's in my hand as I'm sitting still at the correct little Hiroshima, and then that little blue light just like flying up and down. One or two things, they can just be messing with me. Just the Google thing, just messing with me. Or it's showing that I am a ghost and I am not even really actually alive. We're all in this. We're all in hell. And we don't realize that this is hell, because how do you even know that you died? And then how do you know what they did after you died? How do you know that they didn't plug you into a jar like the Matrix and this is our life? We think this is it. But this is our second realm of being awake. And then our third realm is when we go to sleep and dream. And then our first realm is when we finally die and wake up and we're home. I think that's where this is heading. And then no matter what you did here in this world here, it's over. You're out of the flesh. You go to the place where you're supposed to go. This is a birthing system first. You're told that there's this heaven and hell, and you're told these laws of what to do and not to do. And if you do this, you're going to die in hell, and you're not going to be saved. And it's a bunch of fear porn. But I met up with a different definition of time. Time has a whole new meaning. You can call it a portal. You can say that you were reaching demons through the portal, because here's what I see happening now that I've explained what's going on, where Steve Bannon led me in a direction and proved he was going to show me what I needed to see, and it was a sinkhole right in between the Israel flag and U2. 30 days after I went to the art museum, and Bono and U2 has all my footage from 30 years ago when I just did it 2 months ago. Because I met up in that art museum is like a time capsule. I went through some kind of time capsule machine by pushing the record button on the X app and playing a random shuffle of U2 for 17 minutes straight, and every possible shape and shadow lined up with the color scheme, just like the donut said in the very beginning with the Four Horsemen, referring to exactly what I'm saying. Now, going to them, first it's before the art museum, the day before, March 2023. Jacob's showing me Noah's Ark. Next day I go on all of U2, the video. I made all the videos, side-by-side comparisons to show you that this is the weirdest damn thing. And don't try to think of how it's possible. Just know that that's what happened. You may think I am older than what I am. You may even think, for the people that aren't from the inside, that I'm like just one of those people behind a mask, and I'm really like 90 years old. But not just regular human being. A regular human being on planet Earth, drawing all these gods into the palm of my hand. You can say hook, line, and sinker all you want, Christopher Green from AMTV Live. checking all the box, hook, line, and sinker. Don't talk to your neighbor. Be fearful. You don't have to talk to anybody that you don't want to talk to for any reason that you have, or not, or do. You can check whatever box you want, and Marfugel can play duck, duck, goose at the same time too. And then when I show up on your live stream through my channel, Marfugel makes sure that he shows up after I show up. Just to, you know, it seemed like a dominance thing to be over top, to lean in like I'm, you know, the eclipse. Because Jacob Israel was talking about the eclipse. I don't know what he was talking about. I was just pushing record button and hopping on. When I do things, it's all purely random, but it seems like it's perfectly timed, as if that timing had already happened. And there's people that know what I'm going to do next, obviously. Here's the question. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is it a evil thing to do? Is it a port? Am I opening up portals, communicating with demons? Why don't you ask your God? Check these witches' words. Why are you trying to find out about the living from the dead, Robin? You ever hear of Ghost Town? Marfugel says. In a split second, I've brought up the Ghost Town video. The very next, I think it took me 1 second to click on as we're live. Because, well, you know, they're live. I push record, and I'm watching their video live, and I'm responding to what they're saying live. That was the whole message. All right, well, now it comes down to this. There were things that were planned out by Marfugel's news with AMTV, with Jacob Israel, and with the donut. They all, when Derek Brose showed up and he pointed his finger down in the drawing that I drew, all boxes bowed down to Derek when they drew, because they got sucked to the left side, and they all clinged right to Derek as he was pointing his finger down, like, you know, like, get over here. And then they all got over there. I thought that was funny. Everybody's reading a script. So the script was already, I remember when I hopped on Derek Brose's channel, he invited me live, and I was, weather manipulation, I was watching 3 videos in a row. And I was even listening to one of the songs. It was a pretty cool soundtrack in the background. I played it for like a minute. I even recorded it for about a minute and a half. I was going to keep it. Derek must have played the same exact song for like 30 seconds straight. Then he proceeded to show the exact same 3 videos that I was watching just moments before, to have something to talk about as I showed up. Which back then, Derek already proved that time, meeting in a place of time, it was more than just, wow, you guys are pretty quick on the fly. No. This was already done. It's easier to plan things out when you've already seen it recorded. So, needless to say, if anybody thinks it's a hook, line, and sinker, in other words, I heard Ben-Nun say something along the lines to Jonathan Kleck because it said Liz was angry at Netanyahu for having a private meeting with DeSantis. And it's just funny how you just throw those little names in there to connect dots. And so what Steve Israeli News Live was saying was, this is the guiding light. This is one life to live. As the world turns, the General Hospital. I'm the narrator for the soap opera, and I'm the star of the show. So I'm explaining, I'm writing it, I'm playing it, I'm recording it, I'm producing it. I don't get paid for it, but it's there, and it's daily, and here. Take it, leave it, don't care. DoorDash, do whatever you want. That's on you. You chose the job to do it. So everybody's talking, right? And as Steve Benoon said, paraphrasing, in other words, Jonathan Kleck, we just want to let you know we have the same technology. We can talk to Robin too. So, when that's a fact, because what I'm saying is true, and those of you from the inside know it's true, and I'm led to a sinkhole right in front of the Israeli flag, as Steve Benoon from Israeli News Live said, I'll see you in 5 hours, knowing I was going to go down there, and he didn't actually make a video. So I can say he lied. He didn't make a video that day. He did say he was going to see us in 5 hours. Well, he did. Well, you did, actually, because he wasn't lying. You guys seen him in 5 hours on my video. He wasn't lying when he said, I'll see you in about 5 or 6 hours. What was the purpose of that? Does that mean the William Penn building's going to sink? Is there going to be a great earthquake? Is Israel going to be destroyed? The little 1.9 mile world map of all nations flowing to the Silk Road Initiative. Big Ben, Franklin Parkway. Jacob said some things. Marfugel said a couple things. AMTV said hook, line, and sinker, as if he's leading me like I'm some dumb sheep, where he's going to show me that I'm going to check the boxes. Well, I'm going to check the boxes because I want you to know that, all I want you to know is that I understand what you're saying. That's all. I understand you. I also understand you're rich as hell. You're greedy, at the moment, at least it shows. And you're not willing to help poor people because that's why you are over in Hawaii, the safest place on the planet. For at least so you think. I don't know exactly who's in charge besides Satan. And Satan makes the final decision as to what he does. Somebody's in charge of the United States over here, and whoever it is, whether it's Stephen James DeShawn as Satan himself, or Jonathan Kleck as the dragon, or one of the two, or there's a double set, there's a Enki and Enlil twin system set, there's really 4, and my job is to have all of you communicate with me through the X app and prove that you're not controlling anything, one side or the other, because one side is pulling me in this direction, the other side pulling me away from that side or pulling me into that side. So don't pick a side. Right, I get that part, Derek. Don't pick a side, because the true side is in the very middle, where everybody comes to the middle, to the cross. And that's what Logan Square reminds me of. There's a cross, there's 2 females next to the male, and it's like a Y, so it's like a cross. And that's in the dead center of the Garden of Eden, the Gennady Desert, Spring Fountains of Water, Garden Eden, 12 trees, 2 of them chopped down. The tomb is there in front of it. The little building set up right down the middle. The whole thing is a perfect biblical story. And I just happen to walk up and down the actual streets of it. So the point is, just because of the simple fact that it's like, well, we have the same technology, we can do the same thing. One group is talking to the other group. One is an alien group, one is a reptilian group, one is a door-dashing group. The other one, they may just stay out of it. But the 2 main groups are playing a tug of war. And remember, I know that people try to control me because they know the power that I have, and I don't even know the power that I have or the amount of influence I've made. I don't know the amount of it. I just know that it's true and it's happening. So I just keep doing what I'm doing, and I have more faith now that I'm going to see miracles, not because I'm expecting God to just produce miracles, but because He's shown me that every time I step out on faith, a miracle happens. What's a miracle? Something revealed in time that you could never possibly ever know, besides being shown through a spirit that's communicating while other people show you things and talk about stuff and show images and speak in a language. You're reading between the lines, and that's the X factor. I'm living it. So I've seen that the last episode was more of a, here comes that peasant Robin. Well, we know what you're going to do too, Robin, because our boss gave us a script, because he already knows what you're going to do too. Not that we truly know, but we are fed information to say what we need to say, because your every move is not only recorded but acted out by other people. Yeah, just because I'm talking to people in spirit doesn't mean they're on my side. Matter of fact, I've learned that I've been mocked even more because people are like, hey, Robin, he thinks I'm his friend because I'm spiritually talking to him and I'm a high-end YouTube channel. Yeah, well, guess what? In the end, you're all from the Army soldiers, the highest ranking military, CIA, brilliant Einstein minds in existence are obsessed with trying to communicate with me and lead me in a direction to show as if I'm like a remote control car. Remember, if anybody still has those thoughts where the demons torment you with pride and they try to get you to think like you're being so slick, remember this. Between the two main parties that I need to get a hold of, to make the two of them become one, even if it is just the one side of the family, where those two twins over there are double up, the other two twins are double down and it'll never change. Even if that's the case, I am consuming all your attention and you run the entire world. Both sides of the army. So for anybody that thinks they're slick, like you can tap in with me and play games, remember that the highest position, the bosses of the world, of the universe, they spend all their time focusing in on what I'm doing.